President Biden is meeting face-to-face with Chinese President Xi Jinping right now for the first time since Biden took office. Both leaders stressing the importance of cooperation in their opening remarks. Listen.
As the leaders of our two nations, we share responsibility, in my view, to show that China and the United States can manage our differences, prevent competition from becoming anything ever near conflict.
The world has come to a crossroads. The world expects that China and the United States will properly handle the relationship.
Florida Congressman Michael Waltz is a member of the House Armed Services Committee and former Green Beret commander and joins us now. You just heard a bit of those opening remarks, Congressman. What's at stake when it comes to this meeting, and how should the president play it?
Well, these meetings between heads of state, particularly between the world's largest and second largest economy, should be a very big deal. There should have been a series of smaller meetings between foreign ministers and their deputies that lead up to some type of big deliverable, a nuclear arms reduction treaty, a trade agreement. I don't understand why we're having this meeting, because if Biden is just going to kind of yuck it up, that only plays in the hands of an authoritarian regime that then uses that in their propaganda because they want to be seen as the same level. And the Chinese are famous for lecturing us at these types of meetings. So where's the big deliverable? Where's the big thing? Is it on trade? Is it on them stealing our IP, the threatening of Taiwan, North Korea, which is about to test another nuke, their military buildup in South China Sea? What's the big deliverable here? I don't see one. I don't see why we're having this meeting.
Yeah, Congressman, you talk about what's the big thing that they're going to talk about between Taiwan, fair trade, North Korea, the military buildup, and the first thing that Joe Biden brought up in the opening comments was about climate change and climate control. But I do want to get to this that kind of leads into this as far as Biden kind of flip-flopping back and forth on what he thinks about China. Let's listen to this and we'll talk about it on the other side.
I want China to succeed. I have a better relationship with China than most anybody in the country. But guess what? They not only don't have enough energy, they don't have enough water.
China is going to eat our lunch. Come on, man. They're not competition for us.
I see stiff competition with China. China has an overall goal, and I don't criticize them for the goal, but they have an overall goal to become the leading country in the world. That's not going to happen on my watch.
So you heard that, and then today in the opening statements, Biden said it's critical for the sake of both China and the U.S. So where do we stand here?
So Biden's talking about climate and gender and ESG, I don't know what else. And Xi is talking about nukes and his nuclear buildup and space and cyber. And actually, after his party Congress, he was just elected dictator for life. He was in fatigues out visiting his military, telling them to prepare for war, and has told his military to be prepared to take Taiwan by 2027. That means the next American president after the 24 elections very well could be a wartime president. God help us if it's Joe Biden. We are just not even on the same planet in terms of what they are preparing for, and that is to become the global superpower, not a superpower, the superpower. And Biden is just all over the place. This is the most existential, dangerous threat the United States has ever faced. I believe the Chinese Communist Party is in a Cold War with the United States, using their diplomacy, their economy, and their military to supplant us around the world. And we need to wake up as a country and get our supply chains out of there sooner than later.
Yeah, Congressman, Navy Admiral Charles Richard, he is one of the senior most military commanders who oversees our nuclear weapons program. He just said that we are falling behind China, and China's nuclear threat is a near-term problem. Couple that with what you just said about if and when China invades Taiwan. Are we ready? How should we be preparing right now for these really scary possible eventualities?
Well, first things first, we need to get our supply chains out. And if we can't get them to the United States, then how about we get them to the Western Hemisphere, or at least to an allied nation that's not going to use them as leverage? Imagine the Chinese Communist Party choking off all of our antibiotics because we don't agree with them, or all of the lithium in the Green New Deal. Those things are very real. They could happen. And meanwhile, their Navy is larger than ours. Their Space Force is larger than ours. We need to get those supply chains out and have a Reagan-style military buildup to be able to compete so that every time Xi thinks about making a big move, he says, you know what, this isn't going to work for me, and he waits for another day.
Yeah, that's right.
And by the way, we've got to arm up Taiwan. We have to arm up Taiwan, unlike what we did with Ukraine beforehand, rather than waiting till it's too late.
And that preparation starts now. Congressman Michael Waltz, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.